I hope you're well. How are you? How are you feeling in this moment? How are you being with yourself in your life in this moment? That's my question to you. Take a moment, drop in. And what I mean by drop in is pause, breathe. Ask yourself how you're doing, what you're feeling. Ask yourself what is. Be. Be present. So often we are scurrying about our days. All of the tasks, the to-dos, be it work, the demands of parenting, a relationship that feels emotionally exhausting as opposed to enlivening. Pause. Be. We're moving through these things, all of these life experiences, and they carry weight. They carry layers. They carry all of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and yet, because they are so demanding, because we become preoccupied by them, we do not pause and turn within and give space and thought and beingness with all of the things that we move through. Instead, we just keep on moving through them as if that is the way of life. And we say things like, oh, I didn't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So many people are running constantly on the go that they truly believe there is no time for the important things. Stillness, connecting with ourselves, reflection, contemplating our lives, contemplating the bigger life, healing, reading, napping. There's no time for meaning and purpose. There's only time for the busyness of the work, of the tasks that need to be done. And I'm inclined to say that's an old story, an old message passed down from generation to generation, perhaps out of a need at the time. But is that truly the need now? And some would say, well, I have to do all of these things if I'm to have money to sustain life. I have to do all of these things if I want to achieve X, Y, or Z. I have to, and then, just insert all of the things. But here's the reality. It is all a choice. Yes, we do have to sustain ourselves. Money is required. And that doesn't mean that there cannot be moments where we turn within. How are we showing up and practicing being great for our children, our partners, our jobs, whatever the demands, the responsibilities? How are we practicing being great if we're not pausing long enough to listen within, to reflect, to be, to hold space for ourselves, to process? Do we think that by telling ourselves the old story that there is no time and we don't have any, and so we sweep under the rug all of our needs and the meaning and the purpose, because how dare we have needs and seek meaning and purpose? We think that that's the way that somehow neglecting ourselves and all of our layers will lead us to the goal. What is the goal then? Because once you achieve it, then what? And how many things are required to be on the to-do list before we get to doing the things that our inner worlds require that end up showing up when we, have that doctor's appointment where that pain or those symptoms, whatever it was that had been rubbing against us, reveal something. Now we're brought to the moment of the pause. Now we stop the work. We do not have to wait for the end to grow nigh before we stop the wheel that the hamster enjoys spinning on and around and above and below. It is the hamster's pleasure to loop, to increase the speed of the looping, to practice the looping. But is it your pleasure? Is it my pleasure? No. Not at all. And so today, I want to invite us to pause. Take that moment that you don't feel you have. When you pull up in the driveway or parallel to the curb, wherever you are going, wherever you arrive at, what would happen if you set a timer for 2 minutes to be? What would happen? Would the sky fall? Would you fall off the planet? Would your life become derailed? Now, granted, if there is an emergency at which you are trying to attend, that's different, because the answer to those things might be actually yes. But we're not talking about emergencies and crises. We're talking about being in the ordinary, in the mundane, in the day-to-day practices of our lives. How often do you pause in that driveway? Turn off the engine, leave the key inserted if there is one, or press the button to disengage engine and breathe. Settle into yourself. Promise yourself the moment of that moment. Maybe it's this moment now. Breathe. Find where you are in your own equation inside of your own life. Locate yourself and drop into being. What do you need? What is it that you need? What do you want? And what does that path look like before you, where you ask and receive, or you choose and you become? Where are you there in the now of yourself? This is an invitation to pause, access you. You. There's a quote that circulates through time and space and years and energy, attributed to the Buddha. Whether it's true or not, who am I to say? It says, no one is more deserving of your time and attention than you. And so often we give of ourselves to everyone else to meet those demands and responsibilities. And we are somewhere on the wayside, off on the sidewalk of our lives, instead of being actively involved in the truth of being and then giving to others from that place. When do we begin from within? When do we start with ourselves? And who lied to us and told us that we were not supposed to do that? Actually, we are. When I start with myself, checking in, noticing where I am, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I need and want, where I am right now in that moment of being, that's information that serves to guide me throughout my day. It informs how I interact with my partner, how I would move through being a parent, how I show up at work or inside of friendships, or my relationship to the all of my life. But when we do not pause, we are alive, but we do not live well. We do not live connected. We do not live in alignment. We do not live on the path. Let's be on the path. And let's start that path by being in connection with ourselves. And let's take a step from there. Yes? Thank you for your time, for lending me your ear, for listening to all of the background noise, or perhaps listening to the background sounds, which says life is happening, and we are happening inside of life. Thank you for your time, for being with me today. I hope there was something said that, let me change that sentence. This moment is not about hope. I'm okay with being with what is. May something said or not said land in some special way with you. And if you feel inclined to write in and let me know about it, or what's on your mind, I welcome that. I welcome you. Because it is because of you that I am. So thank you. I am grateful. I hope you come back and join me again soon.